This is Batman. You're watching Kyle Reviewed.
Hey guys, just finished watching Arrow, Season 8, Episode 5, Prochnost. This episode was quite interesting. You know, we had Oliver going to Russia and bringing his kids with them, and so that was kind of interesting, playing with that dynamic. And I love the opening with Oliver and his daughter kind of hanging out, and you know, him teaching her all about the trick arrows and the tennis ball stuff. Those are really cool stuff, and I love all the different arrows that were there. I wish you could kind of go through different arrows and stuff. It would be really cool to see that. You know, maybe the boxing glove arrow somehow could come back. That would be quite interesting type thing. You know, or maybe he could have, when they were going through the arrow stuff, they could have had something Curtis struck by, like, oh, you know, maybe I was thinking about a boxing glove arrow. He's like, oh yeah, I did that once, didn't really work that well. You know, it worked once, but that's one story type thing. That would have been really cool. I think with Curtis, you could have done that. You could have had him be that character, like, you know, oh, the boxing glove arrow type thing. I mean, talking about there's so many more arrows that he's used, right? I think it would be really cool to see different things like that. Maybe talking about the kryptonite arrow that we had got in last crossover, which I still don't think we have any explanations to how he got a kryptonite arrow in last crossover. He just had one, but whatever, it makes sense. So it was really cool there. It was really cool also having Roy Harper back and setting him up to be back for the rest of this season. I think that's really going to be cool to see that, since we only have about 5 more episodes left. We're halfway through the last season of Arrow, so I think that's going to be fun to see, and can be cool to see him returning for the crossover. Hopefully we also get Thea returning for the crossover. At that point, it'll be like the last few episodes of the show. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to see as to where things kind of go. But I'd love to see Thea at least in the crossover. It would make sense for her to be there, right? So I think it's really interesting with that. I love the ending with stuff, how kind of they built up that Laurel was going to kind of Black Siren was going to turn on Oliver, and he was supposed to, and all that stuff, and yet she didn't. She ended up revealing to John and Oliver that Lila has been Harbinger this whole time. I wish they had kind of shown us that maybe Lila had these powers or something. So if I'm not mistaken, in the comic books, at least I've listened to a lot of the audiobook form of the Crisis stuff, the Crisis on Infinite Earth graphic novel, or graphic audio, actually. So I think that's really cool. I've been listening to that over and over on repeat a few times. But if I'm not mistaken, she has powers in that. She's able to do all kinds of stuff. So hopefully, you know, I would have liked to have seen her having these powers this whole time. But I feel like at this point, they're probably going to give the powers, like maybe the Monitor gives her the powers for the crossover, instead of her having had these powers this whole time, and she never used them, right? But I think it's going to be quite interesting to see as to where things kind of go with that. The next episode does look like it could be a little bit of a filler episode dealing inside of his head, but we'll have to wait and see as to where things kind of go with that. And it allows us to have Paul Blackthorne back, so that'll be quite cool to do that. That'd be quite cool to see as to where things go with that storyline there. I'm surprised that we haven't yet. To imagine at some point we will. I mean, obviously we will for the crossover, but have Katie Lotz back from Legends. You know, so having Sarah Lance on here for the last season, she should be on here, especially since since Legend of Tomorrow's not started just yet. That she could have been in the first couple episodes of the season, and then I'm not sure. I imagine they already started filming this season, but she could have been in there and in helping a lot out type thing, or at least been in this season and stuff. But we'll wait and see as they started filming at the same time. We know they're not airing at the same time; they're still filming at the same time. So that would have been nice to see there. But I imagine we'll get a couple of scenes with her on there, because she's pretty much the only one left, and there's obviously Emily Bett Rickards, but she has been confirmed for the last episode, so that'll be quite cool. We didn't get to see anything of Connor Hawke in this episode, so that'll be quite interesting to see where things go there. Nothing of Diana or Renee, but I think it would have been nice to see as to what they were doing and stuff. But I guess we'll see where things go. But I really like the storyline between Oliver and his kids and stuff. That's been really nice, really fun to play with. And they'll have the kind of twists and turns with the big reveal of Lila Michaels, to John and everyone. I think that's going to be quite interesting, especially with my theory of that. We'll see how he takes it. Hopefully, it goes deeper than this. I mean, it's like, oh wow, you've been working with the Monitor the whole time. we'll see. If she goes worse and still after this doesn't explain to him, he doesn't understand, she just goes deeper and deeper into that, then it could kind of destroy their relationship. And if the crisis ends up just killing their marriage and killing their relationship, she dies in the crossover, which I think, not mistaken, Harbinger does die in the crisis and for Earth. And then if the Diggle then gets the Green Lantern ring, it could be a perfect setup for him to be kind of, wow, I'm done. I can't do this. I can't deal with this. I gotta go off. And then when he gets the Green Lantern ring, gets zipped up to Oa, he's like, yeah, I don't want to go back to Earth where, maybe because of it, where he's known as a failed father, and all that stuff, because of, John Diggle Jr. And he doesn't want to raise him as a to be a criminal. And then with Lyle Michaels dead and stuff, that could be an interesting storyline to bring that and then put that into the Green Lantern HBO Max show. I doubt it, but I think they could see some sort of setup and him, not going back to Earth because of where things left off after the crisis. So we'll have to wait and see as to where things kind of go with this. And I'm interested to see as to what the relationship's going to be for John Diggle and Lila Michaels. It looks like next week's episode we won't be really dealing with that, especially for inside of Oliver's head the whole episode. So we'll have to wait and see. But we might have to wait maybe till the end of the episode or something, or maybe not seeing it all in the next episode, their relationship and how things are going to how John's going to deal with finding out she's the Harbinger and all that stuff. So let me know what you think, guys, about all this in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Hi, this is Kevin Conroy, talking to you from the library of Wayne Manor. You may know me as Batman. I just want you to know that you're watching Kyle Reviewed. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.